Hello, everyone. I had some issues getting on live just now. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It's really good to be here with you guys. It is good to be here. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We've got a show. We got a show. We got a show. We got a show. We got a show number 13. How's everyone doing? How are you guys all doing? Okay. Happy Holy Week if you celebrate all of what is happening right now. I'm going to go into a little talk about what Jesus has been sharing with me lately. I'm just going to dive right in. I just did a 20-minute Instagram live talking about it. But I'm going to dive right in. And I'm going to share what has been shared with me by Jesus the last couple of weeks. I wrote something down that he shared with me. I thought I would read that first as people are joining and coming on in. I would read what he shared. And I've said this a couple of different times, but as I sit and write with him and connect with him and teach with him and learn from him and get trained by him in all the different ways, there's one thing that always continues to be shared with me that he finds to be of utmost importance right now. And it's the clear understanding, the true clear understanding of this spiritual battle that we're in. And that it is not until humanity understands the spiritual battle, truly understands it, that they will be free and that they will find their divinity. They will find God. They will find ease and grace and peace and abundance. They will find who they are meant to be on this planet. They will find truth. They will find clarity. And dare I say, or at least what Yeshua continues to say to me, is that every pain and every suffering, every ounce of struggle, every mental dis-ease, emotional dis-ease, physical dis-ease, and spiritual dis-ease is remedied by God's light. It's remedied by God's light. And that the evolution in human consciousness is humanity remembering this. And this is the way. This is the way forward for all of humanity. This is the evolution in human consciousness. This is where humanity was millions of years ago. Humanity was living in a much higher dimensional state, but aside from that, they were living connected to their divinity and connected to God. And not just because they're like, oh yeah, I'm one with God and we're all just one. And it's the one unified field of consciousness and all of the proverbial kind of language we use to make it seem like we actually understand what we're doing here, but there's no felt experience of it. And we definitely aren't living that way. So what he continues to show me is that through the living, breathing life of God's energy, God's light, everything changes in our lives. It is the pill we swallow for everything. It is the drink we drink for everything. It is the food we eat that nourishes us. It's everything. And this will be a rude awakening for some and an amazing awakening for others. This requires massive amounts of patience, surrendering, trust, obedience. Things that we are taught aren't appropriate, aren't okay, aren't right, aren't evolving, aren't evolved, aren't spiritual. You start telling people that you have to be obedient to God. And what does that mean? It means you're obedient to the divinity within you. It means you're obedient to God's light, your light. Obedient means that you listen to it and you follow it and you put it first. and you let it lead you, you let it heal you, you let it show you. And we don't like that because we have been programmed to be in control. We've been programmed to be the ones that make all the decisions, because so long as we are the ones in control making decisions, guess who's not in control making the decisions? God, your divinity, your light, your purity. The holy light of God isn't making decisions, you are. So the whole world wants you to be the one making decisions. It wants you to be the one manifesting your life. It wants you to be the one that thinks you're sick. It wants you to be the one that tries to find all the solutions out of your illness and sickness. It wants you to find the solution out of anxiety and depression and fear. It wants you to figure out how to master your mind and how to rewire and reprogram your mind. The whole world is programmed so that you are the one doing it. It's programmed that way because so long as you are the one doing everything, God isn't. And so long as God isn't doing anything in your life, you will never remember who you are. This is the spiritual battle that we've been living in. It has nothing to do with aliens and reptilians and any of that. It has everything to do with a group of hybrid humans that came in 7,000 years ago, the Nephilim. You can read about them. And with black magic, basically, they have been able to energetically manipulate you and me for 7,000 years in this entire planet. They are behind the scenes, won't ever really meet them, rarely will hear about them, but they're the ones running the planet. And it's energetic. And the number one way that we can recognize whether we are in the illusion and the inorganic path, or whether we are walking a new path with God and the organic timeline, is if we start recognizing who's in charge of my life, who's leading, me or God, whatever God is to you, and being honest about that. The other thing we need to start asking ourselves is, do I even know what it feels like to feel God, to feel my divinity, to feel my light, to feel the presence of God? We need to start asking that question. Because, like I was saying in my Instagram earlier, my Instagram live, we all can talk about God. We all can say, like, yeah, I read about God, and I know that God does this, and I am an aspect of God, and we are one unified field of God, oneness, everything. I am connected. There is no separation. I am God. God is me. Or, I access God through this, and then I go here, and God does this, and it's all in the mind. It's all something you read. It's similar to, or maybe you have a quick fix of it, right? But it's not living in you. So it's like reading about a city that you love to, you would love to experience. Maybe Melbourne, Australia, or Bali, or I don't know, New York City, wherever. And you read about it, and you read all these different books about it. You just are devouring what it is. You know New York City from in like the back of your hand. You've watched all the videos, you know where all the restaurants are, you know how to get there, you know what it's going to cost, you know what to do once you're there. So you have all this understanding and knowledge about New York City, but you've never actually been there, so you don't know what it feels like. You cannot know what New York City feels like unless you're there. And once you're there and you get the visceral, tangible, real physical experience and energetic experience of New York City, you will understand New York City. And the longer you stay in New York City, the more New York City begins to live in you. And it's not something you think about anymore. Like, oh, I'd like to tap into New York City and remember what it felt like. You're living it. It's moving through you. You live with New York City. It's alive in you. The city speaks to you. It moves through you. It breathes through you. You either love it or you hate it. And that is the exact same thing with God. God is a living, breathing, tangible presence. It is alive. It is intelligent. It is felt. It is communicated with. It is danced with. It is walked with, breathed with, all of it. It is not something that we talk about and imagine and cross our fingers that, yeah, I know what it feels like because so and so told me that it's like this. And you just open your heart and you feel all kinds of love and then you feel these things. God's actually not like that. God is God is an actual presence that comes in. It's a presence that comes in. It's a presence that opens up everything within you that has been closed. It's a presence that creates calm. It's a presence that creates um, simplicity. It's a present. And by the way, it is a presence that you can't control. It's a presence that's not yours to manipulate. It's not yours to direct. It's it's a reflection of your own divinity within you, designed to move in and begin to say, "Hey, I need you to quiet. I need you to get still. I need you to allow me as this intelligence to come in and rearrange things in you. I need you to have faith in me. I need you to trust me. I need you to surrender, dear God. I mean, dare I say, be obedient to me. I need you to lay down the things that you're carrying." Got something in my eye. I need you to ask me. And as God begins to move through your life, as you invite God into your life, as you invite this presence, this omnipresence into your life, you start trying to figure out how to dance with it and live with it. And it starts to activate your own divinity. And then your own divinity starts to come online and you start listening to it. It's going to change everything. If your life doesn't start changing dramatically as God moves through it, start inviting God in louder. How you see the world changes. How you respond to your emotions change. How you respond to your mind changes. How you respond to other people changes. How you respond to money changes. How you respond to success changes. This is why Jesus talks about the understanding the spiritual battle that humanity is in as the number one most important thing that we should be recognizing right now. That all of our suffering is because of these infiltrated energies and demonic and entity type energies that have taken over our bodies, taken over our minds, taken over our emotional bodies. That's why there is so much talk about fasting in the Bible, because when you fast, you're purifying your body. God, man, there's something I'm like really annoyed by what's in my there's like hair in my eyes. I'm gonna pull my hair back. The reason there's so much discussion about fasting, one of the main reasons Yeshua talks about is it purifies your vessel. Well, what are we purifying it from? If I'm God runs through me. What am I purifying it from? You're purifying it from the parasitic energies that we digest, that we consume from the external world. Things we read, things we talk about, things we engage with, things we listen to. Everything is energy. So everything that you listen to, everything that you do, every person you hang out with, every engagement is energetic. And so you are literally digesting energy all day long. You're not purifying from the poisons from food. You're not purifying from the poisons of the air. You're not purifying from the poisons of water. You're purifying from the energetic infiltration of parasitic energies that have convinced you your whole life that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve to be wealthy and have abundance, that you're never going to find a healthy relationship, that you're always going to be alone, that nothing's never go your way, that you always are waiting for the next shoe to drop, that the anxiety is just going to get worse, something that you're just going to have to deal with, that the depression is something that is just a part of your life. These are all dark, infiltrated energies that literally have been living in your freaking mind, that you have been trained and programmed to believe is something that you have to figure out and fix and change. It's just part of being human. Sorry. And then you could read all the different systems that you want to, and psychology ways of doing it, mindfulness ways of doing it. I mean, there's all these different ways for us to navigate how to move through it, but it's all still a real we are still not looking at it through the lens of the spiritual battle, which is what we are in, and it's what happened 7,000 years ago. And so we are in this, like I spoke about last week, this tug of war, right? We are in this place now where we have to start to say to ourselves, these thoughts are not mine. And that is not a bypass. If Jesus was here right now, sitting right here, he would be talking about the spiritual battle that is raging on this planet. And everything in this world is pulling us away from the understanding of the true spiritual battle that we're in. And the elixir, the pill, the what remedies all of this? Obviously, you know what the answer is. It's the light of God. When people start actually understanding that this is a divine essence that is alive and breathing, when people start to understand that it has been infiltrated, that these Nephilim hybrid giants that came in and made hybrid humans thousands of years ago and millions of years ago as well, that they have used sort of like black magic to dissolve the energetic cord from you to God. And so you have been you have not been drinking the light of God through your body. I'll tell you why I know. Because the entire planet would be very different if we were still in an aligned energetic connection with God. Doesn't mean we're not connected, right? I say this all the time, but we are obviously always connected, but the amount of this light that is coming into us is a drip compared to the waterfall that's designed. You would be a very different person if you were constantly drinking this water through you. And a lot of you are starting to, and you're going to see that your life's going to start changing naturally because of this. It's designed to. It's the evolution in our consciousness. It's designed to. But the whole world is in a real massive manipulated mind controlled state, and they think that they're the ones that are in charge and are going to do all of it and they're going to fix it all, and they keep us really distracted by all of these things: war, blackouts, not having enough oil, this group doing this, the government's doing this, AI doing this, right? All these things that are happening, the solar flares going off. I mean, there's just the aliens coming in. Who knows? You can go down a bazillion rabbit holes, and those are all, like I always say, that is part of the spiritual battle. It doesn't matter what you're focusing on, right? If you're not focusing on this spiritual battle and bringing in the light and recognizing that you are literally battling something, that's why we're all exhausted. It's not an ascension symptom, it's battling energies that are trying to pull you from your divinity. And the more that you become aware of this, the more that you align with your divinity, the more that you align with God, the more that you call God in, the more that you say, God, get in here now, come into my house, come into my home, come into my children's lives, come into my husband and my wife's lives, come into my friends' lives, come in all day, every day, the more you're going to feel this spiritual battle, the more you're going to feel the battle in your mind, the more you're going to feel exhausted, the more you may feel pulled between two worlds, because this current split we're in is organic or inorganic. You're either following God or following the lies, the illusion, the false idols, the desires and the lusting and the seven deadly sins and that whole path. This is what makes me happy. This is what brings me joy. And all you're going to do is keep falling in the traps of anxiety and depression and fear and insecurity and jealousy and greed and all of that. It's all that's the path. And then you're going to be searching for in the external world for everything But then there's those of us that are gonna say, "You know what? I'm gonna trust what Lori's saying or other people are saying, and I'm gonna follow the path of God. I'm gonna walk with God. I'm gonna call God in. I'm gonna ask God to change my life. I'm gonna send everything to God. I'm gonna give everything to God. I'm gonna hand my life to God. I'm gonna hand my pain to God. I'm gonna hand my depression to God. I'm gonna hand my anxiety to God. I'm gonna hand my protection to God. I'm gonna ask God to protect me." Then you start walking the godly path as human, humble, real, and you start watching your entire life will change. This is by far, I have no doubt in my mind, I would put my life on it that this is the path that humanity will begin to walk through. And there will be a massive split. There already is. And it's a very simple question that we ask ourselves. Is it organic or inorganic? Meaning, is it God first or is it the world first? Pleasure first, money first, success first, fame first, relationship first. It's that simple. And God first doesn't mean that you don't get all the great things in life. It just means that you are living from your divine state first. You're putting your divinity first. You're letting your divinity show you first. You're walking the divine path first. People don't wanna do that, trust me. They won't wanna do it. Okay, I wanna read something to you guys. So I created a 4-day course yesterday with Jesus. I was sitting there, I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to serve next. And I have been placing, Jesus has been asking me over and over every single day, like, Lori, you have to keep handing everything over to me. You have to keep handing everything over to God. For me, my path. You don't have to do this, okay? My path is getting out of the way, getting Lori out of the way, getting ego out of the way, getting my desires of how I want things to go out of the way so that I can live in full alignment with God. And it's very, very difficult. It's a very, very difficult path. It's hard to navigate it. It's hard to know when it's you or when it's God. It's hard to know if it's free will or divine will. It's hard to sit and settle into, oh yeah, this is what God's asking of me. Okay, I'm going to go and do this. Very, very difficult. It's a whole other game when you start walking the talk. Very different than just listening to people talk about it or you talking about it or like, oh yeah, this is how it is. You just follow divine will. It's divine will. It's all just like talk until you actually are like, oh, this is a whole different game living it. Like it's a different ball game all over the place. So I've been practicing learning how to only follow what Jesus is asking. Like only follow what is in that highest aligned state. So not what I want. It's very difficult because you have to create. I have to create. So I'm creating. Is it this course? Is it this class? Is it this? And so I'm creating all these things. But I'm in this surrendered state. Like if it's not this God, show me what it is. If it's not this God, but I'm going to keep creating this. And when you work with God in this way and with Jesus in this way, there is a feeling state when you know that you're in alignment with God. That feeling state, it feels right. It feels easy and effortless. It's like you clicked in and you're like, "Oh, this is the golden spot. This is the nugget. This is the juice." And you won't know it until you feel it. And so you do all these things in life because you're taking action. It's this surrendered action. So I'm building these different classes and I'm thinking about maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But I'm in a surrendered state, meaning I'm like, all right, God, I'm going to move forward because I don't know what else to do. But um, if it's not this, I need you to show me what it is. And as I'm creating these other things, I could feel a little bit out of alignment, like, God, something's just not quite right. But I didn't know what was right because nothing else was coming in. You can't force, right? So I just was just waiting. Gonna like, well, I'll just put this thing out, I guess, if this is what is next, but something didn't quite, so I just was off. And all of a sudden yesterday in our class, we're doing a 40-day class with God and we were in day 35. God came in strong, resistance came in strong, God's army of angels came in, cleared out whatever was in our bodies and our systems. We just got this beautiful flush. I just went through a 5-day water fast, which cleansed me. I feel there was so much poison in my body energetically. I was clogged energetically, literally. Like it was very hard to hear guidance. It was very hard to follow truth. Um, it was hard to have clarity because of how much energetic clogging was happening in my body because of the spiritual battle. I was being taken down. I could feel it. I could feel weird emotions that I hadn't felt in a while. I could feel energetic things happening in my mind. I could feel thoughts that were just getting louder and louder. I could feel myself moving further and further away from God. That is infiltration, my friend. That is the spiritual battle. That is energies coming in and trying to take you down, meaning away from God. So all of a sudden you find yourself in behaviors you haven't done. You're finding yourself in more exhaustion, irritability, leaning in towards those addictions, leaning in towards the things that give you pleasure that you haven't been leaning in towards lately because you've been filled up by God. When God comes in and fills you up, you don't need those things. You're in alignment, you're clear, you're good. And so when I did this 5-day fast, I felt reborn, rebirthed, renewed, and that was yesterday. Yesterday was day 5, and I was like, "Oh," and the clarity came. The clarity came. That's the power of water fasting. It's the power of water fasting right now in this spiritual battle. So anyway, this course, this 4-day masterclass that I can't wait to get out to you guys just came in one day. I did the whole thing. It is done. It is complete. It's very clear what we're doing, and it's all about the teachings that Jesus has given me so far around the spiritual battle and how to navigate this. Tools and resources, how to navigate it, how to understand it. There's nothing more important. Anywho, I'm sitting here this afternoon and I want to read this to you guys. This is from Jesus. Um, I was writing about the class. Like, let's why are we doing this class, Jesus? Like, what's this all about? And here's what he said. He said, it's on my wall, so I have to look up. He said, helping man, because okay, so I said to him, what are we doing? What's the purpose of this class? He says, help, and he says man, don't get upset, women, but he calls humans man or men. It's just, he always says man as humans, okay? So if you get offended, blame Jesus, not me. Helping man see and understand the real spiritual battle that has been sieged upon man for 7,000 years. Through eyes of clarity, man sees truth. Man becomes clear in sight. Man receives clarity. Clarity allows for understanding and truth to forge a new path, walking man out of suffering and into supreme victory over one's own light. You, through clear understanding of the rife spiritual battle at play, will find your divinity through the resurgence of God's one pure light, raining back into one's body, allowing pure activation of divinity, understanding the energies at play, poisoning one's own mind, convincing man of a weakness they possess that was never truth. Weakness creates false idols, putting everybody up in front of you like, oh, this person is so incredible. This person has the truth. This person, that's false idols. And they're all over the place right now. Weakness creates false idols, which means it allows you to move into this idealization of people. Weakness creates false idols. It creates desires met in the flesh of this world, i.e., being pleasured out there, and fear ruling the body, constantly being in fear of things, fear of the future, fear of what's coming, fear of this, fear of that, fear. Demonic forces feed off weakness, fear, desires, and lust, and false idolization. So when your power is going outside of you, they feed off that. When you're feeling fear, they feed off of that. When you are having desires and lusts in the external world, they feed off of that. And then he says, this is the last thing he says, God feeds man, demons feed off of man. And I thought that was really, really interesting. I thought that was extremely powerful. That the idea and the knowingness that this light of God, this it's a light, it's a consciousness, it's a nectar that you're designed to breathe in, that you're designed to devour, that you're designed to soak in, that is what feeds you. That is what cures you of everything. That is what heals you of everything. Everything. Why? Because it brings you back into your natural aligned state of divinity. It's like your body finding its what's it called where you when you alchemize your body, alkaline state, it neutralizes and moves into an alkaline state where no disease can live. That's what God does. That's what the light of God does. Disease can't live in your body when God lives there. Fear can't live in your body when God lives there. Anxiety can't live in your body when God lives there. Depression can't live in your body when God lives there. Infiltrated mind, thought can't live in your body when God's light lives in there. And so, what we're doing is we're slowly beginning to say, you know what, maybe what Lori's saying, I don't know, maybe it has an ounce of truth. Let me start doing this and let me see if slowly but surely little things start changing in my life. Let me just try it out. What you're going to notice after months of doing this, because it's not overnight, what you're going to notice is that slowly, very slowly, the things that you have been dealing with all of your life are starting to lessen. Not because you're taking medicine, not because you're doing some trick, not because you're using some sort of supplemental thing, but because the light of God is doing what the light of God is designed to do in your body, which is bring you into a divine alkaline state of purity, where the infiltration can't mess with you, where manipulation can't mess with you, where infiltration can't mess with you. Demonic energies can't mess with us. It doesn't work anymore. And we become free and we begin to walk as the light of God in human form. We become aspects of God in human form. And it's not because we're talking all the talk, we're acting all cool and enlightened and talking about all these beautiful concepts and like look at me. It's because we're humbly walking to the post office to put a post-it, send off a gift to your grandmother, and you're walking in the light of God because you're going to the grocery store to buy your fruits and vegetables with the $100 bill you have in your, the last $100 bill you have for a while, and you're living as the light of God. Not because you're on some yacht making $7 million and continuing to you know, explore the realm of greed and pride and all the other stuff that's out there in the world, but because you're just humbly living life in the most pure and aligned state with God's divinity, and God delivers everything that you need. And then you're like, "Oh, this is how we're supposed to live. Holy cow. What the heck?" God feeds man, demons feed off man. This is what's so powerful about sin and the seven deadly sins. Because when you are playing in the seven deadly sins, the demonic energies are feeding off of you and they're becoming fat, huge, demonic, parasitic things inside your body because they're like, yes, they're continuing to do all of these behaviors. And this isn't to incite fear, it's to help us realize what's happening. And so, all you have to do, my dear, amazing, incredible human soul in human body, is continue to call in the light of God and ask for help. I love when I tell people, ask God for help. And they're like, I am God. I don't need to ask God for help. That's weak. That's disempowered. You're giving your power away. Do you ever call your friends and ask for help? Do you ever call your friends and ask for advice? Do you ever call your mom and ask for help? Do you ever call your doctor or your psychologist or your health physician or your psychic or your astrologer for help? Do you see the program? Do you see how deep the program is? Don't ask God for help. What do you think you're doing? That's so disempowering. Don't you know you're God? You don't need to ask God for help, but you need to ask everybody else for help. Okay? Just don't ask God for help. Ask the world for help. That's okay. Just don't ask God for help because that's disempowering. That's disempowering. But please spend all the money you can on getting help out there because that's real help and that's empowering you. But don't ask God for help. That's very disempowering. That's the spiritual battle right there. In a nutshell, that's programming. That's what the Nephilim have done to us for 7,000 years. They've convinced us of that. And unfortunately, if you're really steeped in the spiritual program and in the spiritual communities, um, you're really kind of screwed because this is me. I was in the spiritual world for a very long time in the real steeped in the real spiritual, like I am enlightened, I am spiritual, I understand everything, I know it all, I am God world. And we're very far from that true divine expression and experience of God. Because there has to be a real deep humility that we aren't connected to God yet. That we need maybe I need to call it in. Maybe I do. And we've got really strong spiritual egos. And we don't want to do that because we're like, I am God. It's all right here. And we all need that light to come in. All of us, every single human on this planet needs to continue and start and continue to call this light in. Outside of all the stories, outside of all religion, outside of all theology, outside of all doctrines, outside of all beliefs. Throw all of that away. You know, Jesus is always saying this has nothing to do with race or religion or creed or finance or skin color. It's every human needs to do this. The whole thing has been warped. The whole thing has been distorted. The whole thing. It all needs to be wiped clean. That's going to take quite some time. So in the meantime, it's chipping away slowly but surely. It's like Jesus is like flying over the whole planet trying to slowly chip away at like wherever you're at, I'll meet you there, he says. You like religion? I'll meet you in religion. You don't like religion? I won't meet you in religion. You're an atheist? I'll meet you there. You know, you've had trauma with religion? I'll meet you there. He'll meet you wherever you are. He just wants to reintroduce you to the pure and divine light of God moving back into your bodies, showing you who you are, showing you your divinity, showing you how to navigate this insane spiritual battle. He wants to point it out. Look at those behaviors you're doing. Look at that. Look at those thoughts you're having. Those aren't you, my friend. Stop. And it has nothing to do with your childhood trauma because your parents had the same demonic parasitic energies in them and they passed it on to you. It's all passed down parasitic demonic energies that came 7,000 years ago from these Nephilim. And the demonic energies is more of like it's like a it feeds off of, lust, it feeds off desires, it feeds off of temptation. It feeds off of the emotional states that we get when we crave, when we desire, when we want, when we need. And it keeps man in a weakened state. It keeps man disconnected. It keeps man focused anywhere other than the true pure light of God. Because what will happen if somebody if you meet somebody that's truly walking the path of God, divinity, first of all, they're extremely humble. They are very, very humble. The second thing you'll notice is that the things of the external world are not important. There isn't an external focus, but they're completely taken care of. So the wants that they have are not what we see in the world. They're not craving for more success. They're not craving for more relationships. They're not craving to be seen. They're not craving to build this or build that. When divinity hits you, when it strikes you, it's like that all starts to dissolve. So these people that are beginning to really, they take no accountability, and I think that's important. And also people will say, well, that's dumb because it is you. Not when you're living in pure aligned uh when you're living a pure aligned state with God. It's not you anymore. You is the human ego. It's the personality and the persona. That's the you that's doing all of this. When you really start integrating God into your body, when you really start working with God, when you really let God move through you and you let your divinity turn on, you let divinity turn on, your divinity starts up like an engine and then it begins to drive you somewhere. You're not driving. So when someone's like, wow, you really drove that car well, you're like, I didn't drive. I was in the car. I'm not going to take responsibility for. I gave the keys to that person. And they're like, "What? That's weird. Why wouldn't you wanna take responsibility for what you did? Because it wasn't me. Why would I?" And everyone's not gonna understand that. They're gonna call it disempowered, they're gonna call it, like, bypassing, they're gonna call it, like, weird, they're gonna say, you know, whatever they're gonna call it. You're just like, "Ugh, wait till you hand the keys over to divinity and you let divinity drive the car." God starts driving your car, you don't wanna take responsibility. You're like, "No, no, 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 no. No way I could have done that. No way I could have created the course I created yesterday in 10 hours, 9, 8 hours. No way. It was all God. I would never take responsibility for what's happening to people in my 40-day class. It's not me. It's all God. It's all and so this energy and this light comes in and it changes everything. Changes how you see the world, it changes how you see yourself, it changes how you want to live, how you want to be. Um, and so, for those of you that are starting to invite this light in, and you're saying, "Well, nothing's happening," I see comments that I've been inviting Jesus in, and nothing's happening. So what? Keep going. Is there a time frame? What? So if you do it for 3 weeks and nothing happens, then it's not working. Like, keep going, keep doing it, bringing in the light of God. Nothing's happening. So what? Keep going. It's like the alien that doesn't understand how hair grows, right? The alien comes in and you're like, dude, the coolest thing is that you've got this head of hair and you're not going to believe this, but it grows and you're not going to see it growing, right? The alien's like, oh, wow, let me go look. I'm going to watch every day. I'm going to watch and see if my hair grows. I want to see the hair grow. I want to see the proof that my hair is growing. And you're like, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be, and you're going to not think it's working because you're not going to see it. That's how God works. That's how the light of God works. I'm telling you, the light of God comes into your body every single day when you invite it in. And you're telling me, well, I don't feel it, Lorie. And I'm telling you, I don't care. It's happening. Just like I would tell an alien, your hair is growing. How do I know? Because I've experienced it, because I've seen it, because I've felt it, because I've seen it happen in my life and other people's lives. I know it. You don't yet because you haven't had the experience. So you have to have trust and faith in this one random person named Lorie who's telling you. The alien comes in and it's like, I don't believe you. I'm going to stare at the mirror every single day. Well, every day that you stare in the mirror, you're not going to see your hair grow. But if you go back in 2 months and look, you'll see that the hair grew. Well, that doesn't make any sense, the alien says. If the hair is growing, I should see the hair growing every day. Listen, I didn't make the rules. I don't know why it's like this, but this is how it is. The light of God is the same way. For some people, maybe they'll have these spontaneous, whoa, moments, never be the same, completely shifted. Holy cow, God came in. Like Perez Hilton the other day, right? He's in a hospital bed for 21 days, super sick. All of a sudden, God comes in. He experiences God. He's crying. He's bawling. He's never been the same since. He had a spontaneous interaction with God. God bless him, and he'll never be the same. He will never not have God in his life. He will always have that light. He will always bring that light in going forward. Once you have a moment like that with God, you'll never be the same. Why is that? Because of how profound the light of God is. And so, what I'm asking of everybody that will listen is if you invite this light in and not wait for the Perez Hilton moments, right? We're not all going to have those moments. We have to just trust that it's like hair growing. You're not going to see it, but it's going to impact you. It's going to grow. And one day you are going to start noticing it. And then all of a sudden, that noticing is going to give you faith that it's real. And then you're going to have more faith because it's going to start showing up more and then more. And then as you let your hair grow, all of a sudden your hair is down to your back and you're like, holy cow, it really is real. Hair grows without me needing to see it. Yeah. Welcome. God's light grows in you. Your divinity, your light grows. It is not this is what we're programmed to believe. We are programmed to believe that things need to happen fast and quick or it doesn't work. And so all of these people that have, that have been very successful in life, they have these ways of being able to help you quickly. And they give you quick fixes to things, and they're billionaires and millionaires, and they have millions of followers because they've been able to find something that can satiate the human condition, which is give me something that's going to help me now. And so you have all of those things that you can go and do, but that's not God, and that is not how God works. And so we are conditioned to need instant healing, instant fixes, instant something. Give me something to hold. Let me know that it's true. You want to know what Jesus says all the time? What God would say to you if God came down? You have to have faith. That's how it works. You have got to have faith. You have to have faith. It's the only thing you need is faith. You have to have an absolute faith and knowingness that it's true, that it's happening, that when you call God's light in, it's coming in. Period. Go about the rest of your day. Stop trying to stare at the mirror and watch it. Give it 3 months. And I want you to pay attention to something because if you bring it in every single day for 3 months, you just trust and you know that it's happening. Um and you're open and curious to it. Open and curious. See what happens. Pay attention when your mind says nothing's happening. I don't believe it. It's not working. Just pay attention. And then as soon as you have doubt, just come back and choose faith. That's it. How do you have faith? You have to just choose it. You have to choose it. All the different thoughts that are I'm going to go into a couple questions really fast, but all the different thoughts that you have right now that are getting louder and louder and louder, they're going to pull you from faith. They're going to pull you from God. So how do you get rid of them? You invite in Jesus and you ask Jesus to rebuke all the infiltrated thoughts. You invite the light of God in and you invite the light of God to rebuke all of the thoughts. If you feel infiltration, if you feel demonic energies attacking you, if you feel weird, if you feel off, invite Jesus in and ask Jesus to rebuke them all. And if you think that's disempowering, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. This is the most important thing that humanity is going to need to come to terms with, and they're going to resist it because it's against so much of the sinful behaviors that we play in. Sin just being any behavior or action that pulls us from God. And so anything where our focus is on it first before God. Anything where we place it in more importance than our divinity. And if we are truly walking with our own light, Like, "Oh, yeah, I'm living in my divinity. I'm living in my truth." You will live very differently. If someone's telling you that they live in divinity, they live in their light of God, they live as they're living in their Christ consciousness, or they're living in their Christed light, just watch how they are in their lives if you can, because it'll change everything. It'll change how they show up, it will change how they speak, it changes everything. Subtly, and depending upon how you lived, it could be a subtle change or it could be a very drastic change. You know, if you've been living a really seductive, seducing, lustful life, you meet God and you bring God into your life, forget about it. A lot's gonna change. We haven't even seen the beginning, the tip of the iceberg of what's about to happen with humanity as they start to truly begin to embody the light of God into them. It's just that we are just now opening to this outside of religion and outside of dogma and outside of theology. This is very different. This is a way of life. This is a way of movement and shift in consciousness. And um, in my opinion, this is what Jesus would be sharing and teaching if he was on the planet. And it has taken me over a year to be able to integrate this. I'm still integrating it. I'm still trying to understand it. I'm still trying to be able to courageously speak it. It's not easy to speak through allow Jesus to speak through me. It's not easy to speak on behalf of Jesus. It's not easy to teach from Jesus's teachings. Um, it's very, very difficult. And so it has taken me and it's continuing to take me a lot of time to settle into it, to digest it, to figure it out, to make sense of it, to learn it, to practice it, and, every single day he's teaching me. Every single day he's putting me in training. Every single day I am going through initiations. I am fasting. I am going deep into the crevices of the infiltration. I mean, there I am at work 24/7 so that I can be the cleanest, purest vessel for this information. Um, and so there's no distortion in it. And, you know, when God wants to set it on fire and throw it out to the world, God will do that. Um, in the meantime, I share it here. I share it here with all you amazing folks. Um, okay, so what's going on? Does anybody have any questions? Um, any questions about what you're going through? Like George Michael, yes. Um, any questions around anything? Trying to see if there's any, no, today is not Yeshua's birthday. Jesus take the wheel. Yeah, 100%. Um, okay, let me scroll down and see what kind of questions, if anyone has any. We've got about 6 minutes left. Carrie Underwood's Jesus take the wheel. Um, this is different than a savior though, right? Like Jesus isn't coming to save you. He just is there to assist you in finding this within yourself, Melissa. It's both. So when we talk about Jesus saving us, Um, it's a tricky word. It's a triggering word, just like sin is a triggering word. Being saved is a real trigger. One of the things that I've been noticing when working with Jesus is how these words um, are essentially what Jesus is doing, but they've been infiltrated in a weird way where it becomes cringy or like you could feel yourself like doing that kind of thing. He's saving us in the sense that he's waking us up. So if you want to think about saving you from the lens of awakening you, yeah, he's saving you. So if you want to shift saving to awakening you, but understanding that in that awakening, he's saving you from continuing to go down the path of illusion. Yeah. Is he saving us? Yeah, he's saving us because he's waking us up to the pole that we are continuing to live in. The sort of demonic infiltrated energies that are unbeknownst to us, or whether we want to believe it or not, have been infiltrating our entire mind and emotional bodies and behaviors our entire lives. We've been infiltrated our entire lives. We have been living not the way we are naturally designed to live. None of this is natural. None of it. None of how we are living is natural. And we don't even realize it. And even when we start realizing it, we don't truly know how to get through this. We don't know how to get out of it. We think it's like, oh, we got to fight these systems, or oh, we got to figure out that, don't get the COVID shot, or take your kids out of school, or figure out that the reptilians are running the government. Or we think that figuring out the external world and all the different systems is how we get out of it. And that's not it. We have to understand from an energetic perspective what has been infiltrating who we have been our entire lives. And it's extremely difficult to do that when you're in it. So when Yeshua comes into your life, he's going to save you from it. 100 billion%. He will save you from it. He will pull you out of it. He will say, "Take my hand, I will pull you out of this." So yes, he saves us. Is it the same type of saving that has been correlated to the religious uh, theologies? I don't know, because I don't know what they feel and what they think around it. But it is a massive awakening out of what I believe we will have a very difficult time getting out of without some sort of massive uh, pull from our own identity. You see, if it's still your identity doing it, you're still going to be stuck in it. Um, how can I start integrating Jesus into my life? I encourage people to just start talking to him, inviting him to sit with you and walking with him, getting curious about how he would see things. For instance, if you're watching a YouTube, or you're watching an Instagram, or you're hanging out with somebody, or I don't know, you're doing things, just invite Jesus to give you a perspective. Like, Jesus, if you were sitting here right now, what would you think? Sure, not all of you are going to hear him, right? Or feel him, but just start engaging with him. Start asking him how he sees the world. Start asking him to sit next to you. And, a lot of people will be like, I've been doing this and nothing's happening. Well, stop with the grudges. Like, okay, got it. Like, we can put up the fight, or we can say, I know that when I call him in, he's here. And I know that it might take some patience and I might have to have a little patience with this. I might have to be able to be a little bit more open and allowing and just trusting that he's here. But if I hold the notion like nothing's happening, if I hold the notion of I'm not hearing, if I hold the notion of, oh, he's not coming, he's not here, I've been doing this forever and nothing's happening. Shift that mindset that the moment you call him in, he's there, and that you're learning how to open to this. You're learning how to listen. You're learning how to be in this. It's not easy. Okay, it's not easy. I'm learning. Shift the focus from nothing's happening. When am I going to hear him? How come I haven't heard him? Shift that to I'm learning. And watch everything change. I'm learning. Watch everything change. I know he's here. Watch everything change. The lens you use to see your entire world is the lens you're going to see the entire world with. So shift that lens with Jesus. Talk to him like he's a normal person. Start inviting him in all day long. Have him cook dinner with you. Have him, walk with you. Have him go to work with you. Have him sit like, and just start playing in this realm of like, I don't know, maybe he's here, maybe he's not. I think I kind of feel him. I don't feel him. And eventually, you won't be able to get rid of him. You won't be able to get rid of him. Um, Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up for a second. Is asking God to save us any different than asking Jesus to? Are they interchangeable? They can be the same. I guess it kind of depends on what resonates with you. Um, I tend to experience them a tad bit differently. I tend to experience God as this like omnipresent light, and I tend to experience Jesus as more of a human vessel, a person. It's more tangible, but more real. It really just depends on what works for you. Do you think it's possible that that jab that people got back in 2020 was designed to disconnect people from God's connection? Yeah, I think it did a lot of things. I think it one of the things that it potentially could have done is just numbed people a little bit more, numbed the clarity, the precision of being able to kind of be clear. I can't say that with definitiveness, but there were a lot of reasons for that. Um, let's see what else. But yeah, Melissa, back to your question really fast. He's not like when I'm with Jesus and I'm learning and I'm training, I'm not like, "Oh my God, save me. Thank you for saving me." It's not like that. Um, I'm learning from him. He's teaching me. He's training me. He's showing me. It's a very empowered state. So it's very different than like, I think a lot of when we start talking about Jesus and religion, and we get into all of the people that are the millions of people that are in in the religious space with him, it's a little bit different than how I am with Jesus. My relationship with Jesus, I think it is a little bit different than that. I experience him, I think, a little bit differently. Um, and so I'm not less than. I'm not below him. I'm not, "Oh my God, Jesus, I need you to just." I'm not like that. I don't do that. But I know that he is. Um, I know that Jesus is. I have no words for it. I'm humbled by who he is. I'm humbled by what he's done. I'm humbled by what he's here to do on this planet. Um, I allow him to take my life. I allow him to completely show me. I allow him to be. I'm in complete service to him. Um, but I know where you're. I'm sorry. I'm going back to this question because I think it's important. I think it steers people away from Jesus. There's a disempowerment that can be seen or felt when people are connecting with Jesus, like, "Oh my God, Jesus is he saved my life." I mean, Jesus did save my life. He did save me. Like, he he saved my whole he changed my whole he saved me. He saved me from going down a really dark path. He saved me from continuing to use alcohol. He saved me from being in relationships that didn't serve me. He saved me from continuing to beat up my body with food and intrusive thoughts. Um, he saved me from continuing to like there's just so many things that he saved me from, which means he pulled me from it. So I'm forever indebted to Jesus. I'm forever in awe of Jesus. He 100% saved me. But never do I live with him every day and say, "Oh my God, he's my savior." Like he's my Jesus, he's my Lord and Savior type of feeling. Like I don't I have a more empowered relationship with him. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just different than what I think you're thinking. But he changed my whole life. So I don't think we ever went to the moon. I don't think we ever went to the moon. I think the moon landings are all made up on a completely separate. Oh, it's 3:05. I gotta go. Melissa's message just took me down the rabbit hole. Um, So, thanks for listening, you guys. Uh, yeah, I'll see you guys next Wednesday, 2 p.m. California time. And excited to keep diving into this. I will be sharing my 4-day class very soon. It comes out on Monday. It's a 4-day masterclass. Um, all right. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.